See if it will show up on my. I am on YouTube.
Talked to my cousin
Oh,
yesterday.
dang.
Yeah. He said, man, he was out there trying to work with the team, and he re-aggravated injuries and stuff. So he was like, man, he said he trying. He said every day he see him in the gym, but just not healthy enough yet to join the team. So it is what it is.
All right,
Right.
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
It's on Facebook too, so going live on there. Brought up the wrong one. What up, everybody? This is your boy C in the house. How everybody doing today? I got your boy Patrick, the Redskin fan, in the house.
What
I
up,
got
what
Tay
up?
in the house. Tay, Mr. Basketball. We here to talk to y'all about some sports. How y'all fellas doing today?
Doing great.
Doing all right,
great
brother.
always.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, since I got to kick it off, how about them Cowboys? I'm just saying.
Yes, sir.
One thing is always sure. The Cowboys never fail to disappoint. Never fail.
That's a fact.
1995 is the last time they won a playoff game.
Man.
It's been a minute. Who was the president then?
Was it Abraham Lincoln? It's been so long.
Hey, well, it's good to see that they had a dream.
That's true. In honor of the holiday.
In honor of the holiday.
That's probably what happened. Martin Luther King probably was a Cowboys fan. He said, I had a dream, and they still dreaming. I'm just saying.
They still them boys. They still them boys, though. They still them boys.
Here's my problem with the Cowboys fans. If I like baseball, I'd hate the Yankees too, because they're the exact same way. First of all, we keep talking about ancient history. We down everybody because they ain't them boys. And then I know everybody's seen that meme where it's the cycle of the Cowboys. We them boys.
Right.
We doing good. Right. We going to the playoffs. Then it's the same thing every year. And my thing with Cowboy fans is y'all not going to win all the time. But they swear like there's so many teams better than the Cowboys. Like this year, the perfect example to me of this year is they had a great winning record, but they didn't play nobody. Every team they beat had a losing record. Then they finally, I think it was the 49ers they played that showed them who they were. But then they won a couple of good games. So all of a sudden, we back in and we going to the Super Bowl. But you ain't did nothing. Yeah. So.
That's true. I mean,
they won 4.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Pat. Yeah. They won 4 games with teams that had winning records. And Green Bay wasn't one.
See, I wasn't going to say that. But here's the thing about Green Bay, okay? Green Bay got a team full of first and second year players. Them boys got beat by babies. And I'm not taking nothing away from Green Bay. Green Bay, murdered them.
They look good. Yeah. They look good.
I'm gonna tell you how much I hated the Cowboys because I actually wasn't gonna watch football yesterday because my Bills don't play to the day, so I wasn't gonna watch it. But it's just something about you ever do y'all like auto racing by any chance? Y'all like NASCAR?
Yeah.
Okay,
I watch it sometimes.
okay. The granddaddy of NASCAR is Daytona.
Right.
You got these cars going around this 2.5 mile oval riding between 200 to 210 miles per hour. Don't nobody watch Daytona for the race. We watch them for the wreck.
Right.
You know sooner or later it's going to be the big one. And you're sitting there waiting for the big one. That's the Dallas Cowboys. We watch them in the playoffs because we know you're going to lose. We just want to know how.
Right. Right. I agree. The Cowboys had so many things going in their favor that they assume to win in the playoff. You know, we don't lose at home. Got home field advantage. We got an experienced quarterback in the playoffs. They don't. We got a better record than they do. They're still the Packers. We playing inside a dome. They play cold weather. We got all these little check boxes over here that say we should win the game. But of course, you still line up and play it. And it seems like they might have been a little too busy checking boxes instead of playing the game.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get hit in the mouth and don't respond quick enough. They came back. They made a push, but it just was a little too late.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
ahead. I'm sorry, Tay.
yeah. The time when it came back, the game was over. I mean, Dak might have 400 and something yards, but the game was over. It was already, 41 to 16 or something. And they made they played prevent defense. They wasn't playing anymore. The game was over. They're not trying to get anybody hurt. So those yards, that score was already a skewed score. Well, his numbers are definitely not representing how the game actually went. And, go back to your thing, Cecil, as far as the fans, man. My thing is, at the end of the day, one team wins. And I'm a realist. I understand that my team can't win all the time. I'm a Niner fan all day. And Green Bay got to come to the Bay next. But that's another conversation. But Dallas acts like they're the only good team in the league every year, and their fans are on your back every year after they win that first game. Nobody else is good. And that's bad. Like, come on, guys. One team wins. That's it. At the end of the day, somebody has to lose.
Yeah.
Everybody can't win. And I can accept the fact that we still may not win. On paper, we should win. It's a chance we still won't win. That's just reality.
I think, well, first of all, if we analyze the game, and of course we're amateurs, so we never can really get into the nitty gritty of what went on. But some things the eyes just don't lie about. Like, as much as people might want to blame the game on Dak, Dak did not give up 48 points. That defense, where was the defense? I mean, Detroit came. Mike McCarthy has to go. He got badly outcoached. The first thing Detroit came out did and said, "We're gonna run the ball." Not Detroit. I'm sorry, Green Bay. We're gonna run the ball on you. And then when you thought they was gonna do something else, they ran the ball on you again. If I'm correct, Dallas played 6 DBs for a majority of the game, but they running the ball on you. You can't stop the run. Then when they did throw the ball, nobody got anybody on his team. Now I'll give it to you. Jordan Love, I think by the half, he had threw the ball to 8 different receivers. But you as the the boys, you have one job, and that's to cover your man.
Hmm.
I just never have seen. Well, no, I have. I've seen it happen before. It happens every year with the Dallas Cowboys. No matter who they play, they get roasted in the playoffs. I'm gonna look up while y'all talk. I'm gonna look up their schedule for the last couple of years.
So,
I was gonna say
so I
lost in
think
the first round, lost in first round, lost in first round. I'm just, go ahead. Go ahead, Pat.
I think Cecil made a valid point about the Dallas Cowboys. So Dallas Cowboy fans are enamored, just like all other fans, with individuals. And so when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys, we don't talk about them as a team. We normally talk about bits and pieces of their team. We're going to talk about CeeDee Lamb. We're going to talk about Dak Prescott. We're going to talk about Michael Parsons. We might even talk about Pollard. But there's more to their team than that, or supposed to be. And so they're naming out a few players. What Jordan Love did in that first half by throwing to all those receivers was saying, you got to beat the Green Bay Packers. You don't have to beat Dak Prescott. You don't have to beat Pollard. You don't have to beat CeeDee Lamb. You don't have to beat, but when you look at it, those are the main players that touch the ball on offense. And you got a few defensive players out there who pressure the ball, get a couple of sacks, couple of returns here and there. But there's 2 or 3 people that we're talking about. Where's the rest of the team? If there's 3 players on defense, where's the other 8? If there's 3 players on offense, where's the other 8? You know, what are we talking about when we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys? Individualized special people that if I buy your jersey, the sales are going to go up, but the losses are going to go up as well. They're just going to continue to rise together. And I think that's the thing that keeps the Dallas Cowboys back. And their fans don't want to say it, but it's the truth. It's that you're not a team. You're just a few class individuals who stand out more than the others. That's it. That's my opinion.
Say you got something?
Oh man, you can go on all day about the Dallas Cow, whatever they are. But I think their biggest problem is just, every sport you play, it's all about chemistry and it's about systems. And I think they always have good players, to add on to what you were saying, Pat. And the problem with players, they have to be coached by the right people. They have to respect the coaches. They have to be in a system where they can succeed. And if all of that doesn't come together, it's not going to work. Which is why so many players are able to leave certain teams and go be better in other situations because of systems. And I think the Cowboys have a real issue that they really have to fix. And I don't know if it's just rebuilding as far as players, but I think they need to figure out what system works and put the right people in place that can work together to make them a complete team. Because it's definitely not a lack of talent. It has to be something else that's the problem with the Dallas Cowboys.
Pat says something that made me think of something because we know Jerry Jones is the general manager. So if we had to really look and find out what's wrong with the Cowboys, the one thing you never hear the Cowboys say is next man up. Could the problem with the Cowboys be that they pay so much money for stars, they have nobody left to do anything when it falls through? You look at Green Bay. Green Bay has a plethora of receivers. And most teams these days, when you get decimated, it's next man up and somebody will come in. I'm going to be honest. The only reason why the Miami Dolphins got beat, well, they might have still got beat, but you do realize they signed 4 linebackers 4 days before the game, and 3 of them started. They were so decimated on defense that they had to sign people off the streets. They went through everybody. That's not Dallas' fault. I mean, that's not Dallas' thing. Dallas' thing is if Micah Parsley doesn't do anything, they suck. If Dak doesn't do it, they suck. If CeeDee Lamb doesn't do it, if Brandon Cooks, if Pollard, if somebody, if the main stars don't do it, we're done. I have never seen one time when a backup player came in and became the savior of the Cowboys. I don't think they're built like that. And I think that might be
Right.
why they continue to lose, or at least in the playoffs.
Good
Plus, on
point.
top of that, I think there's a conspiracy going. I think what happens is the NFL in the regular season set the Cowboys up for the, so the playoffs come, they finally expose them.
But
But anyway, I'm
you hit that on the head.
gonna show this
Yeah.
stats right quick, and then we're gonna move on to another team because I'm about tired of them. Hold on 1 second. So we look here. The 95 was it 95? Yeah, 95 was the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. The next year, they beat the Vikings, lost to the Panthers. Then they lost to the Cardinals, lost to the Vikings, lost to the Panthers, lost to the Steelers, lost to the Giants. But they got back on the winning trail. They beat the Eagles, but then they lost to the Vikings. Beat the Lions, but lost to the Packers, lost to the Packers, lost to the Rams, lost to the 49ers. And then I don't remember what happened. Well, no, this year. No, last year. I can't remember how. We know they lost last year, but that is our Dallas Cowboys. But on to somebody else. Did y'all see the Detroit Green Bay game?
Oh yeah, Detroit and the Rams,
talking-
absolutely.
The Rams.
Detroit the Rams. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That was a game. That was a good game. You had
Oh,
a
you like the game too?
storyline.
I didn't really watch. I have watched the Cowboys lose, and I vaguely watched the Lions. I felt like the Lions was going to win that game anyway. The Lions are a sleeper team to me. I think they have a complete team, and they play football the right way. I don't know if they have enough to go all the way yet, but I think their organization is going in the right direction.
What was you going to say, Pat?
I think it was a great game that lived up to the hype that it got. You had a great storyline with Matt Stafford coming back to Detroit. You had Jared Goff playing his old team. The love-hate relationship, that was there. People, Stafford's kids were raised in Detroit. That was his home for so long. And then he gets traded away, wins the Super Bowl, and now he's coming back to see if he can go through his old team to get back to the Super Bowl. I didn't hear a whole lot about the Rams this year. I heard about Detroit because it seemed like an anomaly, but they're not playing like an anomaly, like Mike said. They're playing more like a real team, and I don't see superstars written all over the place for the Detroit Lions. I see solid players, wide receivers. I see a quarterback putting a different system and giving a chance, somebody who was written off. He's got the comeback story that we all pine for whenever we're watching sports. Detroit's got that momentum, that chip on their shoulder, that underdog that you can pull for even if you're not a Detroit fan. And that's what we love to see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, I've loved the Lions. I love their coach. I can understand why you run through a wall for this guy. He is truly a player's coach. He has changed the culture in there, in the Lions. Do I think they can win it all? I think me personally, I think their biggest flaw is Goff. I hope he can do it again. He took the Rams to the Super Bowl. So can he do it again, though? That's my problem. Can he do it again? Because, like Tay said, I think they're a complete team. They got everything. They got a fast running back. They got receivers. They got tight ends. Their defense is a beast. They got everything you need. They even got a coach. They playing in a
Hmm.
dome. The only problem I have with them is in order to beat the elite teams, you have to have an elite quarterback. And I'm wondering if he can do it. So I don't know. I won't say they're my favorite. I would love to see them go to the Super Bowl. But going to take teams, I don't see anybody beating 49ers. Now, to me, the 49ers is a complete team. They have everything. And that's makes them, to me, makes them different than a lot of other teams, because if they can't beat you by scoring a bunch of points, they can beat you by shutting you down. Their defense will show up, or their special teams will show up, or their coach will just out-coach you. So, but anyway, I thought it was a great game. I was hoping that Dallas wasn't going to lose it at the end, because it ended up being close at the end, but they pulled it out. Who they playing next? I can't remember who they play next.
Who, Green Bay?
Um,
Green Bay come to the Bay.
yeah. I'm saying who the Lions play next.
The winner of
Depends
Philly
on yeah.
and Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Well, they gonna be in the NFC Championship game because Philly sucks right now. And Tampa Bay.
Yeah. And hey, Tampa Bay got a shot at beating Philly the way they playing.
Okay, what dope is you smoking?
Yeah.
Have you seen Tampa Bay?
Yeah. But have you seen the Eagles lately?
Yeah. The Eagles.
I mean, they got Hurts out here doing fumble drills, like he's in Pop Warner again. Come on, man.
The only thing I'm gonna say about the Eagles is was realistic. If you remember when they was 10-1, their coach kept saying, "We got a lot to work on. We is not nearly as good as our records show." And you hear that from a coach all the time, but it ended up being right, So
he's at practice with him every day.
Huh? Yeah. And it shows. I wish I could tell you what's wrong with them, but I don't know. They just have hit a wall, or I don't know. So
I think the Eagles are going to do something one way or another. They're going to hit that button that says playoff mode, because we all know that seems to be a thing where Jalen Hurts will go back to being playoff Jalen Hurts, and they are down their number one wide receiver. So can you win important playoff games with one of your better weapons out? Will you find a way to win those games? Now, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl not too long ago, they were out there starting quarterback. Yeah. They put in Nick Foles, and Nick Foles won them a Super Bowl. Can Jalen Hurts do that? Can somebody on Philadelphia's team step up and become another wide receiver that Hurts can depend on? Or can Hurts do this by himself and say, you know what, just jump on my back, just at least for the next 2 rounds, and maybe we can get our wide receiver back and we can get into the Super Bowl again.
Right.
Well, the next football, we got to talk about the 49ers. We can't get Tay up here and not let him talk about his 49ers. So, with that said, first of all, what did John Lynch do to the NFL that they owe him so many favors? Because this dude literally has to go down in history as the greatest GM in the NFL. This dude.
Man, look, that is unbelievable what he has accomplished this year with this team as far as getting players. It makes me feel like, what are the rest of the teams doing?
I can't disagree.
I don't know.
I can't disagree with that. I mean, he picked up Christian McCaffrey for nothing. which I understand what the Panthers was doing because they just wanted to get him off the books. But dang,
Right.
nothing. But then they got that Chase Young. Was it Chase Young?
Yeah.
They
Yes,
got
sir.
Chase Young from the Redskins.
Yes, sir.
And then they got somebody else. Who was that?
For nothing.
For nothing. And who
You're
else did they
welcome.
get?
You're welcome.
They got somebody else.
I appreciate it.
I'm
I
like,
appreciate it.
so we just gonna give the best team in the league more players. But to me, here's to me, this is my thing on why John Lynch has got to be the GOAT. You got Jimmy
The GOAT.
Garoppolo.
I'm so hyped now.
You got Trey Lance. You got Sam Darnold. All these players are on your roster. So with your very last pick in the very last round of the draft, you take a kid named Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Irrelevant. Well, we get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance, who's been sucking for forever, gets hurt. And instead of you putting in a veteran quarterback, you put in Brock Purdy. What does he do? He goes on a winning streak. It takes him all. Are you kidding me? So now in the offseason, your
Brock
dilemma is, what are we going to do? Which quarterback is we going to keep? You keep Mr. Irrelevant. And what
Right.
happens? Then people don't even realize
Irrelevant.
he hit his sophomore wall when they lost him a couple of games. What does he do? The team rally around him, and all of a sudden he back. I hear people say that he's a system quarterback. Personally, I don't understand what that is. To me, when you call somebody a system quarterback, you just pretty much saying he learned the system and he can run it. I don't care if he got Debo.
Right.
I don't care if he got McCaffrey. I don't care if he got Kittles. I don't care who he's throwing to. He has to throw the ball to Dak Prescott. He got all his weapons. He couldn't hit CeeDee Lamb. He missed him wide open a couple of times. Brock has not done that. Brock finds the players open, puts them in the position for them to win. I'm done with, because I can't say enough about the 49ers, and I'm not a 49er fan, but I believe in giving credit where credit is due.
Yeah, we got room. we got room. I mean, it's not a lot because if you know when you walk into an arena, it's a lot of red in every arena they go in, and ain't a lot of chairs left. But we'll make one for you.
I can't, you know what? I can't hate on the 49ers because honestly, unlike some of the other champions, 49ers have always remained relevant. And they've done it the right way. They don't bang it over nobody's head or anything. They just go out, do their business, and before you know it, here it is again. But anyway. Pat, you got something?
Now, think about it. Hold on. My bad,
Go ahead,
Pat.
Zach.
1 sec. If you think about it, the Niners have traditionally always drafted well. They've always kept something in the hole that they trained to be good at quarterback. We've always had good receivers. We've always drafted good receivers. And a lot of them don't even get to play a lot. Like we have four, like look, last year Ayuk was hurt, but Ayuk didn't get many throws year before last, I'm sorry. And he's been on the team for a while. You didn't know about him. It's just that we keep, and they just take care of those guys. And it's just a good feeling out there. And I mean, you got to just love what they're doing out there. I just respect it a lot. And it's different. It's different. It's different from the whatever, them cow whatevers. It's different from the Steelers. It's a different vibe that you get knowing. It's different from the Patriots. It's just a different vibe. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
No. I want to hit something up because here's the thing with the 49ers. They manage their team so well Because think about it. How do you get a Chase Young and sign these players and you not even close to the cap?
Right.
Dude, that's crazy. How do you have draft capital to go out and get players in the middle of the season? Whereas everybody else,
Nobody.
all I'm saying is John Lynch is playing chess. Everybody else playing checkers. Go ahead, Pat.
Yes, sir.
I get it. I get it. I have to agree with everything that you all have said. Traditionally, the 49ers have had a system. They've stuck to it. We're going back when Montana and Rice were playing. We're going back before there was a John Madden video game. There was a video game based off of the West Coast offense. And there was a coach there.
Mm-hmm.
And his name, and it's escaping me at the moment, Bill Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bill Walsh
okay.
went in and he put a foundation there that the Niners never really went away from. And as quarterbacks go, for the most part, you can kind of say every time they got a quarterback, that quarterback was decent enough to manage a team to get them to the playoffs. And I mean, you're going from Joe Montana to Steve Young to even Garcia when he had
Mm-hmm.
T.O. out there. You're looking at quarterbacks that fit into that system that are able to make other players better. Now, this year, you've gotten, like you said, picks from other teams that are fit into the system perfectly. Like I've seen players go to other teams, they seem like mismatches. But whenever they go to the 49ers, they always seem to find their way in there. And that's not by accident. That's by design. The 49ers play their brand, their style of football, and they make it work. Whether you got a 1,000-yard rusher in Frank Gore, you're taking hits from corners like Ronnie Lott, or you're just changing it up and saying, hey, I got a versatile guy like Christian McCaffrey and another guy like Deebo Samuels, and along with tight ends like Kittle. You're always worried about something when it comes to the 49ers. And that's when they become a complete team. They're dangerous at all times. As long as, in order to beat them, you got to kill them. That's where they hang their hat at. You actually got to go out there and play and beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. They're just not going to go out there and give you the game. You've got to beat it out of them. And that's their identity. Unlike some of these other teams that we've already spoken about, they have one. And they've stuck to it for years.
One of the things I like to do is bring up stats. So I pulled up an article of the 40 draft picks that John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan drafted, ranked, well, the top 40. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I'm going to start with number 1 because, as we get down to 40, you will know we don't want to listen to this. But here's what I noticed. They got George Kittles, the great tight end, in the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
5th round. Kittles. Deebo,
Yeah.
they got him in the 2nd round. Nick
Mm-hmm.
Bosa, of course, they got him in the 1st round. Fred Warner, 3rd round. DJ Jones, 6th round. 6th round? Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Mitchell, 6th round. Ayuk, 1st round. Okay, Ayuk, rather, 1st round.
How about say Ayuk?
Yep. Dre Greenlaw, 5th round. That's crazy. Who is this? Mike McGilty, or offensive lineman, 1st round. Mitch Punter, they got him in the 4th round. Jennings, they got him in the 7th round. And he's getting better. Richie Jones, I don't know who it is, but they got him in the 7th round. He probably still playing.
Mm-hmm.
6. I mean, we're looking at the top 15. They only had 2 players in the top 15 so far that was 1st round draft choices. Everybody else was 3 or that's draft. That's why you a winner. You a winner when you draft good players 4th, 5th, 6th round. That's crazy.
They're doing their homework for sure.
They do it better than everybody else. All right, last thing we're gonna talk about as far as football go. Hopefully, how the saying go? Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked old witch is dead. Bill Belichick is gone from the New England Patriots. Lord have mercy. I'm so happy. I'm a Bills fan, so I'm so happy he's gone. So, but my question to y'all is, this is a loaded question. Okay, I'll phrase it to you differently. What would you grade from A to F? What would you grade Bill Belichick as a coach without Tom Brady?
C minus.
I was going with C.
Okay. Tay, explain to me why.
Adjustments haven't been made. Preparation wasn't done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Personnel wasn't brought in.
I posed the question wrong. What would you grade him as a coach if he never coached Tom Brady?
The answer
I
remains
still
the
got to
same.
go with C minus because only thing we've seen since Brady is what he's done, and that's nothing. And they're not even a 500 team this year. You know, the drop off has been drastic. Players come to play with people they want to play with, and if your coaching staff doesn't have any type of relationship with guys and guys want to go play with him, they're not going to go. And he can't get players. Nobody wants to play with him. They wanted to play with Brady. They wanted to play with a winner. They liked the way he carried the team and how he treated his teammates. Belichick has always been known, from what I understand, as a placeholder. So for me, looking at the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick, I think he's a C minus. I mean, he hasn't showed me anything outside of that.
Okay. Pat?
Bill Belichick is supposedly have been one of the great minds of football ever. He, had all these accolades for winning Super Bowls, taking no-name people here and there. We're finding out that a lot of that chemistry had to do with Tom Brady, even on the defensive side of the ball. So, how does that song go? By Jay-Z, you made Hove, so make another Hove. Is that how that goes?
Mm.
You made Tom Brady, so make another Tom Brady. We don't see that. There's Matt Jones, and then there's backups who don't even want to start for Bill Belichick. There's not quarterbacks that are lining up to be underneath his tutelage as a coach. You don't see people going to a destination. Aaron Rodgers, heavily courted by the Jets. But let's just say you met.
All right. We're going to take a pause right here. We will be back soon.